Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tesla Stock News, brought to you by Oregon Cash Flow Pro, helping you maximize your cash flow. My name is James Barber. How's everybody doing? Thank you, David. Much appreciated. So I saw you guys were mentioning Beyond Meat up massively this morning, 30%. Looks like they just made a deal with Pepsi to team up on a new plant-based product. So good on anybody who's been sitting in on that one. That's a huge jump, up $50 a share just based on that news. So pretty interesting. I wonder if the details will justify that, or if it might be a good opportunity to catch the dip after this rise. In other news, GameStop is just going nuts everywhere. Up again in the pre-market. It was up yesterday in the pre-market. Now that Robinhood is online, it looks to be coming down a little bit as people either get out of their shares or look to buy some more. If you're following this, the story is kind of exciting. Yeah, Wall Street Bets on Reddit is where all of the game planning is coming from, or so it seems. They've massively expanded the number of people in that thread. They're over 2 million now, which is like an incredible number. And the way that they're seeing it is it's them against these hedge funds. Now, an interesting development happened yesterday. And I think it had to do with that massive drop in the market that we saw. The flash crash, or what it felt like, was right in the middle when all of these things started to get suspended. GameStop was going up quite a bit. It turns out that a major short seller of GameStop had liquidity problems. And I'm guessing they had to start selling out of a lot of their other positions because of what GameStop had put them in. Well, at one of those breaks, they ended up getting over a $2 billion loan, $2 billion infusion of cash. I think it was $2.5 billion from another fund. Now, this other fund, it's called Citron. And they also happen to be some of the market makers out there. So they're the ones who are basically buying and selling all the options that are out there on the table. And they got hit pretty hard last week because all of the options expired in the money at the end of last week. So they got burned. If it could happen again this week if this continues to happen. So they put up $2.5 billion. Pretty interesting to see how this is going to play out. Now, I bought in yesterday for 200 shares. I ended up selling a covered call against those shares so that I lock in. If it goes up above, I lock in. I make a few $1,000 on the trade. Actually, I think I make about $4,500 if my covered call sells. If it doesn't, I still get to keep the $3,000 that I sold them for. Actually, it's a little bit more than that. And then I still own the shares, and I'll be able to sell the covered calls again until I get back into a position. So even if this goes down, I end up in an okay position, and I get to partake in this short squeeze. So good times. If you guys are in on it, awesome. If you're not, don't worry about it. This is very speculative. At one point yesterday, that position of 200 that I bought was down $7,000. You don't want to put yourself in a position where that's going to make it really hard on you. Also, you got to be aware margin requirements are going up on GameStop. So if you're using margin, you don't want to get in on this play. You might get in trouble with that. So just words of advice. Now, I'm going to get to the Tesla news here in just a minute, but I wanted to show you the rallying cry of Wall Street Bets as of this morning is pretty hilarious. And here it is. Wall Street Bets. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's very crude language and hilarious. So I think you guys are familiar with the phrase, the market. What is the phrase? The market can stay down longer than you can stay liquid, or longer than you can stay solvent. So their rallying cry: we can remain retards longer than they can remain solvent. They self-identify as autists and retards on that Wall Street Bets forum. So anyways, I just thought that was hilarious. Share that with you. Moving on to our Tesla stock news. We've got Tesla Semi. A Tesla Semi production line. They're hiring for it. And it's in Nevada. Now I thought, Tesla Semi was going to be produced at the Gigafactory in Texas. I think it's going to move there eventually, or maybe expand there. But we do know the Cybertruck will be there in Texas. And it looks like Model Y is going to be in Texas as well. So, a little bit of a surprise, but Tesla put out a notice for hiring for semi-production line in Nevada. So, pretty cool. Hopefully we'll start to see more there. Now, we do know that Tesla uses their own semis to deliver all of their vehicles. So, I think Nevada might be where they have been making those. I don't know if it was Nevada or Fremont. But maybe they're at least looking to expand the number of rigs that they use so that they can keep up with the massive amount of deliveries that are going to be taking place. So that's my guess on that one. Next, I don't know if you guys saw this, but a neat video on Twitter. This is the stamping press. And the stamping press throughput over the last 6 months has increased 125%. The machine cycle has gone down from 9.7 seconds to 4.3. So what you see in this video right here is this is the old version. This is the old one, and that's the new one. It looks like it's bouncing around a little fast. Something wrong with my media source. Anyways, if you get a chance, check it out on Twitter. The stamping press, it looks like it's just in slow motion, the older version. And the new one, it's just moving really fast. These arms are barely clearing as it comes down. They're barely clearing it. And just a massive increase in speed. So, pretty cool. And with that, I think that's it on the news. So, let's hop over to Stock Watch. We've got 19 minutes till market opens. Now go maximize your cash flow.